Go until Election Day, we are learning more about how Chicago residents plan to vote. Northwestern Center for the Study of Diversity and Democracy partnered with a coalition of Black and Latino nonprofits to release a new poll today, and it highlights common priorities for the city's Black and Latino voters. And joining us now is Jaime Dominguez, an associate professor of political science at Northwestern. Professor, thanks for being with us. So I understand this poll was done earlier this month here with more than 643 Chicago voters. What did it reveal about priorities in the community that you're studying?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, it revealed, like as previous polls, that crime is the #1 issue, but also issues such as inflation, wages and jobs, affordable housing, and then the fifth issue was a top priority was police reform and accountability. So those are the issues that voters are concerned about. So that was a major takeaway. Another major takeaway, I think, is the fact that these communities want to be engaged and are engaged. And also, I would add that on the issue, for example, of intergroup relations, we found, in fact, high degrees of perceived commonality between Latinos and African Americans. In fact, in the high 80s for both groups. And 70% of Latinos and African Americans believe that the city would be better off if they work together. So that means that there's implications also for alliance building and coalition politics for the next mayor that comes in, and that these two communities are aligned on a lot of issues.
It sounds like the priorities mirror all voters throughout the city here, but I want to really hone in on this idea of building partnerships here. What about that, if anything, surprised you the most, and what do you expect will come from those expectations in this election cycle?
Well, I think one thing that really surprised all of us, I think, is the fact that on the issue of like turnout, because that's going to be very important in this election, because our poll still shows that it's up in the air. Granted, there is whites tend to prefer Paul Vallis, Latinos tend to prefer Chuy as their first choice, and African Americans prefer Lori Lightfoot. However, there's still a good chunk of voters. 60% of Latinos still have not made their decision in terms of who they're going to back. For African Americans, 77% have not decided that, and 75% of whites have yet to decide who they're going to support. So it's going to be very interesting over these next couple of weeks to see how these candidates position themselves to try to win over these voters in these last 2 weeks.
Did that take you back a little bit, knowing that we're 2 weeks away and there's still so much indecision yet?
Absolutely. But again, I think this is an opportunity for the campaigns to really control the messaging and to reframe their narrative in terms of how they're going to be able to draw these voters in. So this idea that there's going to be linear racial bloc voting, as it has historically in the past, and we look back at the Harold Washington and other mayoral election cycles after that, that's not the case this time. So there's a lot of votes out there these candidates can compete for, and so we'll see how they do.
You also asked the participants of this survey who they are likely to vote for. I know you broke it down a little bit, but are there some clear winners as you go down the list of the very large field of candidates?
No, there's no clear winners. Right now, it's super tight. And our poll, in terms of all voters, who would they prefer? Vallis still comes out on top, 19%, followed by Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia, 17%, and Lori Lightfoot at 14%. So the margin in error is very, very close. So again, I think that these next 2 weeks are going to be critical for each of these candidates to really position themselves with these respective constituencies to try to win over their vote.
I know you would hope with that tight of a race that will result in a high turnout. If you were advising a mayoral candidate, what would you tell them that they should do with this information as they get closer to February 28th?
Well, one thing that really stood out in the poll is the fact that despite public perception that people shy away or have a visceral reaction to an increase in their taxes, in fact, we found that across the board for all groups, whites, blacks, and Latinos, that they are willing to pay more in taxes if that's going to result in more services. So Mayor Lightfoot, Congressman Garcia, and Paul Vallis should not shy away from, if they're talking about building infrastructure, and it's going to cost more dollars to just, for example, on the transportation fund, to make services more available to, then I think that's something that the data shows that's something that voters are going to be okay with. And so to not shy away from that. So that'll be one thing that I would advise these candidates.
Jaime Dominguez from Northwestern University. Thanks for being with us tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Good night.